Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Roll Tide 99 YouTube channel. I'm very glad you can join me this afternoon, probably going into the early evening tonight, for this contest between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Oklahoma Sooners. Alabama comes into the game with a record of 8-1, with a 6-0 record in the SEC conference. Oklahoma comes into the game with a record of 7-2, with a 3-2 record in the Southeastern Conference. Game is taking place in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Oklahoma just ran out of their tunnel, and in just a few seconds, we will see Alabama run out of their tunnel. Relevancy for this game is that Alabama, if they can win, have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. If they lose this game, their chances fall to about a 70% chance. Key thing to watch for in this contest is the battle of the quarterbacks. Of course, we all know Ty Simpson, best quarterback in the SEC, one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy. But you can't overlook John Mateer, quarterback of the Sooners. They've upgraded at quarterback ever since last year, switching from Jackson Arnold to John Mateer. And John Mateer is mobile, which has given Alabama some problems in the past. Alabama set to take the field right here. Kalen DeBoer, of course, coming out in the black hoodie, which I think we can expect from now on until Alabama loses the game with him in the black hoodie. Bryant-Denny Stadium packed, I believe, sold out for this game. ESPN playoff predictor giving Alabama a 71% chance of winning this game. Here come your Alabama Crimson Tide taking the field. This game is being broadcast on ABC if you want to watch the action live. Good news for YouTube TV subscribers. You may have heard me say last week I'm a YouTube TV subscriber and was unable to watch the game live. I had to watch it on a delay through another provider. But for this game, YouTube TV has brought back the ABC family of networks, including ESPN. So I am able to watch this game with as minimal of a live delay as possible as I'm watching it through YouTube TV. Coin toss about to happen. Sorry about that. I thought they were going to try to do the coin toss, but then they switched to other topics about a lineman for Oklahoma being out. Anyway, I'm trying to see who won the toss. They're not giving an indication, at least not through the commentator. But a key update for Oklahoma is that R. Mason Thomas, linebacker, is out for the game. So does that change Alabama's strategy regarding their offense and how they attack the Oklahoma defense? Oklahoma has not been known for its defense ever since they went into the SEC, and that continues this year. Can Alabama find a way to exploit the weaknesses of the Oklahoma offense? Oklahoma is kicking off to Alabama to start the game. So Alabama will go on offense first. Oklahoma will receive the second half kickoff. Here we are. We are set to kick off here from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Kickoff is in the air. Fielded by Brooks, trying to get around the corner. Broke a tackle, but didn't really get much. Returns it to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Of course, here comes Ty Simpson. Second in the SEC in passing yards, fewest in the SEC in terms of interceptions, but only one on the season. Ty Simpson usually brings about 273 yards a game. That is also second in the SEC. 1st and 10, Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Looks to throw. In and out of the hands of Cuevas. 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Good throw. Cuevas just couldn't corral it. This brings up 2nd and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Riley. Riley gets about 3 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 for Alabama. Correction, that was number 26, Jam Miller on the carry. Simpson takes a snap, looking to throw. Ran down from behind, right around the line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th and 7, and most likely a punting situation. Very quick drive there for Alabama. Only took about 40 seconds off the clock. So a very quick 3 and out, barring something weird here on this punt. Punt is in the air. Caught at around the 30-yard line. Number 5 for Oklahoma on the carry, making a few men miss. Finally ran down at the Alabama 29-yard line, which is where Oklahoma will have it 1st and 10. Alabama had an opportunity to make it a very short punt return, but number 5 for Oklahoma just made a whole bunch of Alabama defenders miss, and he returns it for a large return, longest return on the punt that Alabama has allowed all season. So not what you wanted to see if you're Alabama. You go 3 and out on the first drive, and now you just gave Oklahoma some really good field position to start their first offensive drive on the game. 1st and 10, Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Fakes a handoff, then he throws it to number 4. Has a big gain, 1st down and some. Brings it to the Alabama 11-yard line. 1st and 10, Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off to number 24. Gets about a 3-yard gain on the play. Makes it 2nd and 6 for Oklahoma. Alabama defense, best when it's in the red zone, has to come up with a stop here. Here we go, 2nd and 6. Mateer in shotgun. Look to throw, throws to number 4. Got a gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 5 for Oklahoma. You have to figure this might actually be 4-down territory here for Oklahoma in a game against an Alabama defense who has not really allowed many points in the red zone. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap. Way overthrown number 11 on the play. Brings up 4th and 5 for Oklahoma. And Oklahoma offense is trotting off the field, so it looks like they're going to kick the field goal and settle for the points. Tate Sandell, number 29, on a kick for Oklahoma. Kick is up, and it is good. With 11:33 left to go in the first quarter, to score Oklahoma 3, Alabama 0. So a sense of deja vu coming up for Alabama, as it was Oklahoma who took the first lead last year and never surrendered it. Can Alabama find some way to slow down the Oklahoma offense, and B, break through the Oklahoma defense? Notable. Let's first look for first commercial break. Let's look for some notable scores around the SEC. Of course, Oklahoma 3, Alabama 0 so far. Late in the fourth quarter to score LSU 23, Arkansas 22. Just wrapped up not too long ago, Texas A&M comes back from a 30-3 difference at the half to win the game 31-30. Those are the only notable scores happening as of right now in the SEC. Other notable matchups taking place in the SEC: 6-3 Missouri taking on 5-5 Mississippi State. And then, of course, tonight on ABC, after this game, you have number 5 Georgia taking on number 10 Texas. Game set out a commercial break. Interesting tidbit is that if Alabama wins this game, they would clinch one of two things, depending on how the rest of the season would play, regardless of if they lost in the next SEC game they play, which is in the regular season finale against Auburn. Would be you could clinch a playoff spot, or you could clinch an SEC spot. Interesting question would be if that Alabama somehow lost the Auburn game, which is at Jordan-Hare Stadium, but had won the Oklahoma game, but then loses the SEC title game, that would put Alabama at 3 losses. So would Alabama still get in? SMU got in last year at 3 losses and losing in the conference championship. But with how stacked the SEC is, could the SEC essentially if the SEC runner-up has more than 2 losses, could the SEC essentially cannibalize the runner-up out of the playoff? Here we go. Action back here in Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, about to kick off to Alabama. Of course, with 11:33 left to go in the first quarter, the score currently sits Oklahoma 3, Alabama 0. Kickoff is in the air, goes through the back of the end zone, touchback. Alabama to start the second offensive drive of the game for them from their own 25-yard line. Alabama had a very difficult time moving the ball in their first offensive possession, in which you had a 3-yard run by Miller and 2 incomplete passes by Simpson. Can Alabama get its offense going on this drive against the Oklahoma defense? First and 10, Simpson in shotgun. Looks to throw, sacked way behind the line of scrimmage. Brings up about 2nd and 16 for Alabama. Officially ruled 2nd and 17. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it to Williams. Gets nowhere. Brings up 3rd and 18 for Alabama. Alabama yet to launch a deep ball down the field here. Here he goes, Simpson in shotgun. Now it looks like he's changing the play. Now he goes back to shotgun. Takes a snap. Good protection. Throws it deep to Williams. Incomplete. Kalen DeBoer lobbying for a pass interference flag. Not going to get it. Brings up 4th and 18 in the punting situation. Oh, that was a whiff there by the officials. I try not to criticize the officials on these streams, but that was a clear push, and he hit the face mask too. That should have been a PI, but no flag. Brings up 4th and 18. Punt is in the air. Going to be fair caught at the Oklahoma 37-yard line, which is where they're going to take over 1st and 10. Last drive for Oklahoma started deep into their own territory. Let's see if the back starting field position fires up the Alabama defense a little bit. First and 10. Mateer in shotgun. Mateer hands it all to number 24. Gains about 3 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 7 for Oklahoma. Clock ticking to below 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Mateer took the snap, looking to run. Gets about a 5-yard gain before he lowers his head and falls. Brings up 3rd and 2 for Oklahoma. Simpson under center, hands it off to number 24. Falls just enough for the first down for Oklahoma. First and 10, Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off to the running back. Gets about a yard or two on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Oklahoma. Officially ruled 2nd and 9 for Oklahoma. Mateer pitches it out to number 24. Flag on the play. Might be holding against Oklahoma. At least I would think it would be, based on where I saw the flag come out. Personal foul against Oklahoma. Back Oklahoma up about 15 yards on the play. Might have been illegal. Couldn't tell. He made this signal that I'm about to make right here. Right, the two fists punching each other. Not sure what that usually signals, but either way, it's a personal foul and a 15-yard penalty. Brings up 2nd and 24 for Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Looking to throw. Has some running room if he wants to take it, but it closes up quickly. Gets maybe one on the play. Brings up 3rd and 23 for Oklahoma. Interesting storyline that just came up from the ESPN app. A Texas state trooper that apparently had some words for a South Carolina player has been relieved of his duties. Pretty sure a much bigger investigation is going to take place. 3rd and 23, Mateer in shotgun takes the snap, gets it to number 5, who gets about a 5-yard gain on the play, brings up 4th and long, and most likely a punting situation for Oklahoma. Defense does its job. Can the offense, after getting the punt, do its job and finally break through the Oklahoma defense? Clock ticking to below 6.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. So far, this game has been defensive battle. Don't let that 3 on the scoreboard fool you, because Oklahoma started that drive beyond the Alabama 30-yard line and into the drive at the Alabama 11-yard line. Punt fair caught at around the 30-yard line, which is where Alabama will have it when the action resumes. I will take a timeout as the networks take a timeout. Be back when the action resumes. Action still at commercial break. Meanwhile, this score just went final. LSU wins 23-22, getting their 6th win of the season. And for the 26th consecutive season, not counting the COVID season, because of weird bowl rules, LSU is bowl eligible for the 26th consecutive season, which means every year since 1999, LSU has been bowl eligible. LSU will have their final home game next week before they travel coincidentally to the opponent that Alabama is playing right now, Oklahoma. Here we go. Action has been brought back on ABC. Alabama has it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Simpson in shotgun. Sorry. Simpson takes the snap, throws it. Out to Bernard, completes it, gets the 1st down and some, gain of about 17 on the play. 1st and 10 for Alabama. First down of the game for Alabama on offense. Let's see if this is the start of Alabama having cracked the code on the Oklahoma defense. Simpson in shotgun, 1st and 10. Simpson takes the snap, looks for somebody to throw to, throws it to number 4, Hill. Hill, gain of about 8 in the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Why is there a fan dressed in a banana suit? Spam comments, huh? Yeah, if you are watching this, beware of any suspicious sort of link that spams in. I do not have control of it. Okay, 3rd and 1 for Alabama. I missed the play because I was knocking out the spam comment, or I should say the suspicious link comment. What the hell was that? It worked. Okay, I'm not sure if you just watched that play. Simpson acted like he was trying to get some sort of a signal from Kalen DeBoer. Hill took the snap out of the Wildcat and ran it for the 1st down and some. Brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Throws it out to Bernard. Bernard gets the 1st down and some. Gain of about 15 on the play. Another 1st and 10 for Alabama. Alabama in Oklahoma territory for the 1st time all game. 1st and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Hands off to Hill. Hill, gain of about 7 on the play, brings up 2nd and 3 for Alabama. Second and 7. No, I'm sorry, 2nd and 3. Simpson in shotgun. Clock ticking to below 3 minutes left to go in the 1st quarter. Simpson takes the snap, looks to throw, throws it out to Hill. Ball's loose. Recovered by Alabama as the ball rolled way forward. Trying to see on the replay what happened. Oklahoma had the first shot at it, but he bobbled it. Then it's recovered by Alabama in bounds right before it rolled out of bounds. So a dumb luck play there by Alabama sets them up in good field position deep in Oklahoma territory. No, wait, correction. They ruled it incomplete pass. Brings up 3rd and 3. Now they're bringing it to a review. Confusing series of events right there. I thought he had taken foot down, 2 feet in bounds, takes another step, all with possession. I think it's going to be changed to a fumble and a recovery by Alabama for a first down. Commercial break while we wait for the review. Honestly, if you want my opinion, seeing the replay, I think they're going to change the ruling to a fumble recovered by Alabama for a first down. Because I looked at the replay and it looked like Hill had possession of the ball when he came down with both feet, then took another step forward, which would constitute a football move, and enough to where I would say that he completed the action of a catch. So I think it's going to be changed to a fumble recovered beyond the first down marker by Alabama. Still waiting for the game to come back from the commercial break for a review. Action's back. Let me mute the mic so I can hear what's going on. Ruling change to a completed pass, fumble, and recovery beyond the first down marker by Alabama. 1st and 10, Simpson and shotgun, throws it, intercepted by number 23 of Oklahoma, and he might take this one back to the house. Touchdown, Oklahoma, barring a flag. Thought I saw a pick play there, but they're not throwing a flag. I want to see the replay because it looked like the intended receiver was bumped as he went for the reception. Extra point is good. 2:03 left to go in the first quarter to score Oklahoma 10, Alabama 0. Largest deficit of the season that Alabama came back from was 8 points. Showing a replay right here. No, he wasn't bumped. It was just an overthrown ball covered, caught by the defense. So now Alabama needing to regroup quickly on offense. And again, another spam link. What is with these spam links that are coming out of nowhere? Again, if you are watching this and a suspicious YouTube name comes up with a suspicious link for the game, do not click it. Because simply, they are looking to gain your personal information, especially your personal credit information, to steal your money. So do not, under any circumstance, if you see a comment in the live stream with a suspicious link, do not click it. It's asking you for your money. Here we go. Kickoff. Return by Brooks. Brings it to the 29-yard line. Alabama will have it 1st and 10. 1:57 left to go in the first quarter to score Oklahoma 10, Alabama 0. Oklahoma's 2 scores came off of a field goal on a drive that started at the Alabama 29-yard line and off of a pick 6 that just happened. That was only Simpson's second interception of the season as quarterback. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw, throws it out to Cuevas. Cuevas able to get about 5 yards on the catch and run, brings up 2nd and 5 for Alabama. Officially ruled 2nd and 7. Play being paused while Alabama's allowed a substitute. Here we go. Simpson in shotgun, 2nd and 7. Takes a snap. Throws it to Bernard, complete. Ball came out, but he is being ruled that he was down when the ball came out. Brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. Yep, and that will be the correct call. Still in his hands while his knee was down for like 3 seconds, so that's going to be upheld if they try to review it. Brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. Alabama in a hurry up. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. Miller gets 2 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Alabama. 21 seconds left to go in the first quarter. See if Alabama speeds it up or just continue to bring it to the second quarter, which it looks like they are going to try to speed it up to get a snap off. Are you going to call a timeout, or are you just going to let it go to the quarter? End of the first quarter, Simpson going to get the snap off. End of the first quarter, in a surprising first quarter, score Oklahoma 10, Alabama 0. Now, if you're watching this and you're just watching the action, you would think Alabama's defense is having trouble stopping Oklahoma. But that's actually not the case. Because the two scores Oklahoma had, the first one was a field goal that started on a drive that Oklahoma started at Alabama's 29-yard line, but only managed to get to Alabama's 12-yard line. And then the other score came off of a pick six. So Alabama's defense is actually doing well against Oklahoma's offense. It's just Alabama's offense let itself down at the wrong time, and Alabama's special teams let itself down at the wrong time. And it is these mistakes in college football that'll absolutely kill you. Because you look at that 10-0 score in the first quarter and think Oklahoma is dominating in every aspect of the game when they're actually not. It's just Oklahoma's finding ways to force Alabama into mistakes at the worst possible time. Which really is actually smart football on the part of Oklahoma. So props to Oklahoma for so far outsmarting Alabama. Still not a commercial break, waiting for to return to action. Alabama will have it about 2nd and 8 when the action returns. Other scores from around the top 25 that are notable. Number 16, Georgia Tech, the current favorite to win the ACC, is locked in a close game with Boston College, 14-7. Number 21, Iowa, leads USC 14-0. Virginia leading Duke 7-0. That is in the second quarter. Miami looking to bounce back. They are leading NC State 10-0 in the first quarter. Here we go, back in the action here for Alabama versus Oklahoma. Alabama down by 10, looking to start a big rally as the second quarter begins. Simpson in shotgun takes the snap, throws it a short pass to Nord, who is able to get free of a few people. Barely gets enough for the first down. Depends on where they spot it, but it looked initially like he just got enough for the first down. And he is given the first down. Ball at the 48-yard line of Oklahoma. Simpson in shotgun. Take the snap. Barely gets the snap off in time. Hands it off to Miller. No, he faked everybody, including the cameraman. Took it himself. Gains about 10 on the run by Simpson. Depends on where they spot it, but it looked like it was enough for the first down. And they're going to rule if he was short by a yard, bringing up 2nd and 1 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun on 2nd and 1. Looks to throw. Throws it to Bernard. Incomplete. Just overled Bernard. Brings up 3rd and 1 for Alabama. Would not be surprised if they try to run up the middle or a quarterback sneak on this play. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Hill. Hill manages to get the first down. Gain of about 3 on the play. 1st and 10 for Alabama. Alabama able to move the ball effectively, but has not been able to score yet. We'll see on this drive if Alabama can finally turn the long drive into points as they are down 10 minutes here at the beginning of the 2nd quarter. Here we go. Simpson under center, I should say. Miller to the back. Not too often Simpson goes under center. Simpson tripped, but manages to stay on his feet. Finds a wide open, I think that was 81. Yes, that was 81 Edwards on the play, who was wide open. Gains about 20 on the play. 1st and 10 for Alabama. Alabama in the red zone for the first time all game. And again, another suspicious link coming out. Again, do not click these suspicious links that you see in the chat to try and get your money. Meanwhile, 1st and 10, Simpson looked for Horton, but he overthrew him. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Apologize that my screen keeps reloading for some reason. Here we go. 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line of Oklahoma. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. Miller gains only about 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7 for Alabama. What I might do is that after halftime, I might go ahead and turn on subscriber only mode. I have it on all commenters for right now because there's creators that are also streaming this game that do have much larger fan bases than me. Oh, here we go. 3rd and 8. Simpson in shotgun throws it. Another interception. Flag on the play, though. This might be coming back. Pass interference against Oklahoma. Brent Venables smiling like he knew he was wrong there. But here we go. Alabama giving new life right there. Alabama giving new life. Interception. But a pass interference. Oh, it was number 12. Grabbed the back of the jersey of Horton. And then number 5 pushed, I believe that was Bernard that got pushed, which brought up the pass interference. I couldn't tell if it was the hold on Horton or the bump on Bernard, but one of them brought up the pass interference. Meanwhile, Hill took a snap in the shotgun wildcat formation. Not sure what the hell that name is supposed to be, but he took the snap. Gains about 3. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. My phone was going off for some reason from a number that I don't know. Here we go. Simpson in shotgun from the 1-yard line. Hands it off to Hill. Hill. That might have gotten across the goal line. It does. Touchdown, Alabama. Alabama on the board for the first time all game. More suspicious links. How many of these scammers are going to try to come in to the chat to take advantage of and get y'all's money. Again, do not click those links. I repeat, do not click those links. I'm going to pin my own comment in the section, but do not click those links. They are not trying to give you an option to watch the game for free. They are trying to scam you out of money. In fact, let me actually post a comment in case you join in and you forgot another suspicious links come up. All right, there you go. I just put my own comment, and I'm going to see if there's a way I can pin the comment. Okay, I just pinned the comment because there have been quite a few people in the or I don't even know if it's people. I think it might be bots spamming the chat, putting suspicious links, offering to watch the game for free. Do not do that. Be wise on the internet because people will try to take advantage of you for money at any opportunity they get. If you see a suspicious link and it's saying you can watch the game for free, do not click it. They will find a way to scam you out of your money. You work hard for your money, or at least I hope everybody in the chat that's watching this works hard for their money. You don't want to be scammed out of it, and I don't want to see you scammed out of it either. Still waiting for a commercial break to get back to the action. I was hoping I would never have to make that comment, but unfortunately, there's a lot of, again, I don't know if it's people or bots, but they have these bots that scour YouTube looking for these live streams to pop into and offer you to watch the game for free. When in reality, the first thing they're going to ask for you is either your credit card information or some other personal identifiable information. And they will try to scam you out of your money. So do not click a suspicious link. I'm trying my best to knock these links out as fast as I see them. But do not, under any circumstance, if you see a suspicious link from a bot that comes in, click that link because they will scam you out of your money. Here we go. Kickoff is in the air. Retrieved. That's hard to tell. It looked like he caught it at the 1 yard line and backpedaled into the end zone, but they are ruling that he got it in the end zone for a touchback. This is Alabama's homecoming game. Last team to beat Alabama on homecoming was LSU in 2001. Oklahoma looking to be the first team to beat Alabama on homecoming since 2001. I actually didn't even know it was Alabama's homecoming until the Aflac trivia question popped up. 1st and 10, Mateer in shotgun. Throws it almost picked off by number 10 of the Alabama defense, but he dropped it. Jefferson was the one who got his hands on it, but he could not retrieve it. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma. Bad pass by Mateer, and was really lucky that Oklahoma gets the possession back. Mateer, shotgun, looks to run. Gain of about 4 on the play brings up 3rd and 6 for Oklahoma. Officially ruled 3rd and 5 for Oklahoma. Clock ticking to about 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Mateer in shotgun. Throws it in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 5 of Oklahoma. Dropped it incomplete, brings up 4th and 5 for Oklahoma, and Oklahoma for the first time today, no, actually the second time today, excuse me, is sitting out their punting unit. Two very dangerous throws on this drive by Mateer. One of them nearly intercepted by Jefferson, and the other one of them would have given Oklahoma a first down, but he threw it too far to the left of the intended receiver. Punt is in the air. Recovered by Alabama. Williams at the 20-yard line makes a few men miss. Ball came loose. Alabama recovered it anyway, but it looked like Williams was down before the ball even came out. No, they're ruling it was an Oklahoma recovery. I want to see the replay, though. It looked like Williams was down when the ball came out. Then it looked like Alabama recovered it. There's the replay here. Okay, that ball did come out before Williams hit the ground. But I want to see if they can get a camera angle of who recovered it, because it looked like Alabama fell on it first. I think they're going to change the ruling. It looked like Alabama secured it first. If they even review it. And they are unable to review it before the next snap came. First down and 10 Oklahoma on a bunch of trickery. Again, that looked like Alabama might have recovered it, but no review was even initiated. 9 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Here we go, Mateer in shotgun. Looks to run it. Gets some room. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Nowhere to throw it, but he got free. Was able to run it in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And the Alabama defense just looks completely stunned right now. Nine minutes left to go in the second quarter to score. Oklahoma 17, Alabama 7. And the frustrating part about all this isn't that Alabama is down by 10 in the middle of the second quarter. It's the fact that we're down by 10 and all 17 points were set or either allowed by or set up by critical mistakes on Alabama's part. At a crucial point. You had the 3 points at the beginning of the game that were set up by Alabama special teams, allowing a 40-yard punt return. You then had the touchdown off of a pick six by Oklahoma. And then you had that touchdown by Oklahoma that was set up by the Ryan Williams fumble on the punt return. You look at this series and you think Oklahoma's dominating Alabama. They are not dominating Alabama. Alabama is making crucial mistakes at the worst possible time that either set up or directly give Oklahoma points. You cannot do that against a top 15 ranked team like Oklahoma. They will find a way to kill you. And now Alabama has to find a way to claw back and win this game. Otherwise, they will be in a heap of trouble, not only in this game, but possibly in the rest of the SEC slate as well. Still waiting for the action to return from commercial break. Again, more suspicious links. Do not click them. Here we are back at the action. Kickoff to number 17, Brooks. Returns it to about the Alabama 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for Alabama. Here we go. Simpson in shotgun. Looks to throw. Throws it. Completes it to Williams. Way beyond the first down sticks. Brings it to the Alabama 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Correction, the Oklahoma 40-yard line. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the Oklahoma 40-yard line. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, throws it out to Bernard. Gains only about 5 on the play. Second and 5 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it out to Brooks. Brooks gets the first down plus a couple yards, brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. You have to assume Alabama is looking to score points before the half to cut the deficit to 3, especially given that Oklahoma will have the ball to start the second half. Or possibly even score, get the ball back and score again to take the lead before the second half. First charge timeout, Oklahoma. With 7:01 left to go in the second quarter to score Oklahoma 17, Alabama 7. Again, scoreboard looks very deceiving with Alabama down by 10. But again, Oklahoma has not really been commanding the game like it looks like they have. The thing is, Oklahoma took advantage of 3 very crucial Alabama mistakes. Again, you had Alabama's special teams allowing the long punt return that started an Oklahoma drive at the Alabama 29-yard line, which led to a field goal. You had the miscommunication on a route that led to an interception that was returned for a touchdown. And then you had just about 5 minutes ago the fumble on the punt return by Alabama that was recovered by Oklahoma, and then 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. If Alabama can find some way to cut down on those mistakes and start moving the ball like they did on the previous drive and how they're currently doing on this drive so far, then Alabama could very well win the game, despite how shaky the first half has been. But Alabama has to find a way to cut down on these mistakes that they are making that are either directly or indirectly leading to Oklahoma points. If just one of those, if you take away that long punt return that set up Oklahoma's first drive being at the 29-yard line, that alone makes you in position to tie the game up on this drive. If you get rid of that interception, then not only did you just are you only down 10-7, but you're possibly even in the lead because you had taken that drive into plus territory and were driving until you threw that interception. But it has just been mistakes at crucial points that are killing Alabama in this game. And if Alabama doesn't find a way to quit those mistakes, because Alabama's offense is moving the ball well, despite what the only 7 points might say. Alabama's offense is moving the ball well, but they have to find a way to finish drives and not make mistakes. Action is back here on ABC as we resume out of the Oklahoma timeout. Here we go, 1st and 10 from about the Oklahoma 29-yard line. Simpson takes a snap. Looks to throw it, throws it. Couldn't even tell he was throwing it to. Luckily, nobody, whether it be receiver or defender, was in the area. 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Looked like he was trying to get it to Bernard, but well overthrew him. I don't know if Simpson overthrew him or Bernard was supposed to go backwards further than he did. Here we go. Simpson under center. 2nd and 10. Hands it off to Hill. Hill. Gain of about 5 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 5 for Alabama. I don't know what the point was there of taking a deep shot and then that goes incomplete and then following up with a run. Officially ruled 3rd and 6 for Alabama. You have to assume Alabama wants the touchdown on this drive. They'll take a field goal if they need to, but they want the touchdown. Here we go. Simpson and shotgun. Takes a snap. Throws it out to Cuevas. Cuevas way past the first down, and he gets it. Touchdown, Alabama. Didn't see a flag anywhere, so it looks like it's going to hold up. And it is 25-yard touchdown from Simpson to Cuevas. Second touchdown of the second quarter. All of Alabama's points so far are coming in the second quarter here. Alabama was outscored 10-0 in the first quarter, but they have outscored so far Oklahoma 14-7 in the second quarter. Extra point is up and good. So after trailing 10-0 at the start of the second quarter, the deficit is now 3. As with 6:13 left to go in the second quarter, to score Oklahoma 17, Alabama 14. Alabama's offense so far responding. But again, the reason why Oklahoma has 17 points, all of them were either directly set up by, or I should say were set up by, or the direct result of critical mistakes by Alabama at crucial points. Just one of those isn't there, and the game is either tied up or Alabama has the lead. Kickoff is in the air. Going to be fair call in the end zone, touchback. Now, the Alabama defense has actually been playing quite well, despite what the score might say, as the only offensive touchdown came on that drive that was set up by the fumble on the punt return by Alabama. Other than that, Oklahoma has not been really good at moving the ball. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Oklahoma from their own 25-yard line. Mateer in shotgun. Looks to throw. Throws it out to number 12. Gets the first down. Gain of about 11 on the play. Brings up 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. Clock ticks below 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. First and 10. Mateer in shotgun. Looking again to throw. Gets it out to number 20. Gains about 8 on the play. Correction, number 24. Robinson with a reception. Brings up 2nd and 2 for Oklahoma. Second and 2. Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off to number 24. Robinson gets about a 5-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Oklahoma at the Alabama 49-yard line. Clock has ticked to below 5 minutes to go in the first half. Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off to Robinson. Robinson looked like he was about to have a little bit of room, but is tripped up and only gains about a yard on the play. Brings up 2nd and 9 for Oklahoma. Clock ticks below 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Mateer in shotgun. throws it out to a guy in the flat whose number on his jersey I couldn't see, but he only gains about a yard on the play. Sabb, the guy who stops him for a 1 yard gain, brings up 3rd and about 8 for Oklahoma. Alabama trying to get some substitution going on. Wouldn't be surprised if they call a timeout. And it looked like Alabama did call a timeout. First charge timeout, Alabama. Timeout comes with 3:32 left to go in the first half. The score, Oklahoma 17, Alabama 14. But Alabama so far looking much better in the second quarter than they did in the first quarter. And it looks like they're not going to go to commercial break. Here we go. Back in the action after the timeout. 3rd and 7 for Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw. Pocket collapsing around him. Just barely gets the pass off, but he overthrew his intended receiver, number 6 on the play. Flag flew. Nothing to indicate it's on the defense, but there's also nothing to indicate it was on the offense either. It looks like the flag got waved off. They might have been trying. They might have been trying to hit Mateer with an intentional grounding. No flag on the play, though that one, that from that angle looked very questionable, whether or not there was a face mask on the play for out that would have been for Alabama. Instead, they wave off the flag and say let them play. Oklahoma to punt. Punt is in the air. Retrieved by number 7. Gains about 2. Adams, number 7, on the punt, returns it for a gain of about 3. Alabama has the ball with about 3 minutes left to go in the first half. All 3 of their timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Or 2-minute time. Okay, hold on. Let me wait until the timeout ticker pops up back on the screen. Alabama has the ball, 3:16 left to go in the second quarter. 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Here we go, 1st and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw. Throws it to Miller. Gain of about 1 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 9 for Alabama. Sorry, I thought I heard a vibration on my phone, but it wasn't. 2nd and 10 officially. Clock has ticked to below 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Simpson in shotgun. Motion everywhere on the field. Miller comes back to join Simpson in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw, throws it, completes it to Cuevas. Cuevas gets the first down and some before finally being pushed out of bounds. Gain of about 18 on the play brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. I was looking for the yard line. He got pushed out around. Looked like he was the Alabama 27-yard line. Here we go, 1st and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, throws it to Williams. Falls down in bounds. Gain of about 8 on the play, which will take us to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Alabama trails current score, Oklahoma 17. Alabama 14. I'm going to take a timeout with the TV network. Be back when we come back from the 2-minute timeout. All right, I'm back. Still waiting for the network to come back from the 2-minute timeout. Headline from ESPN says Tide keeping it close. More accurate headline would be Tide keeping it close despite mistakes. Again, I want to remind you the comment is pinned in the chat about suspicious links because suspicious links have been popping up all game in the chat. Do not click them. Number one, most likely it's not a person, most likely it's a bot. Secondly, it's always going to lead directly to a scam. You know you love your money. You know you want it to pay your bills, support your family, whatever. You work hard for your money. Do not give it to a lazy scammer. Here we go. Back from the 2-minute timeout. An interesting statistic in the final 2 minutes of the first half, Alabama has outscored their opponents this season 49-10. Here we go. From the Alabama 35-yard line. 2nd and 2. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw, throws it to a wide open Cuevas, gets way past the first down and gets it to just below the midfield stripe. Clock ticking. Well, actually, this side of 2 minutes, they stopped to move the chains. Brings it to the 49-yard line, 1st and 10 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it to Hill. Gets about a 2-yard gain and gets into Oklahoma territory with a minute and a half left to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Clock not really an issue because Alabama does still have 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd and 8, Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, hands it off to Hill. Hill gets the first down and then gets into field goal range, but hold on, there's a flag on the play. Holding against Alabama, backs him up 10 yards. First penalty of the game against Alabama was called against Bernard. Here he goes, 2nd and 18. Simpson and shotgun. Throws it out to Hill. Hill able to elude a few guys and then makes up most of the yards lost by the penalty. Brings up 3rd and 2 for Alabama. Would not be surprised if Alabama tries to call a timeout here. Here he goes, Simpson and shotgun. Takes a snap. Being chased. Gets the ball out just in time to Cuevas. Gets the first down to about the 39-yard line and out of bounds. Brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. And you have to assume that about 5 more yards would put Alabama comfortably in the range for Talty to kick a game-tying field goal right at the end of the half. So I would expect Alabama to maybe go aggressive on these next 2 plays and then go conservative on 3rd down. Here we go. Simpson and shotgun, 1st and 10, takes a snap, looks to throw, all kinds of time. Incomplete, intended for Miller. Surprised the pass interference was not called against a defender who was bumping Bernard off timing. But anyway, here he goes, 2nd and 10 with 25 seconds left to go in the first half. Simpson and shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw, throws it deep. Incomplete on the play. Brings up 3rd and 10 for Alabama. Would not be surprised to see a pass on this play that is somewhat short to just below the first down yardage in order to set up Talty for a game-tying field goal right at the end of the half. Interesting to note that both Oklahoma and Alabama still have 2 timeouts left to go. Somebody just called a timeout. Second charge timeout, Oklahoma. Not sure why Oklahoma is calling a timeout in this situation. Given they have the lead leading into and are in position to stop Alabama here. But anyway, timeout, Oklahoma leaves them with 1 more timeout if they do choose to use it. Alabama still with 2. High scoring first half for both teams so far. I will have some comments to say about the performance of Alabama in my second half. I'm sorry, in the first half reaction video. Here we go. Alabama gets into the huddle. Now they break it. 19 seconds officially left to go in the first half. Simpson and shotgun. Simpson takes a snap, looks to throw it, throws it out for Bernard, caught in bounds. No, officially incomplete, saying that he bobbled it. Would not be surprised if a replay tries to buzz here. Here, let's look at replay. It was hard to tell there, but it looked like he had it in bounds. Looks like he had it in bounds and then lost it after he had fallen out of bounds. Also, let's see if the foot came down in bounds, which it did. Would not be surprised if a replay is initiated here. TV freezes. Again, the replay looks like it might have been a completed pass. So I would not be surprised if a replay is initiated here. If it was. Couldn't tell because my screen froze at the wrong time. But I couldn't tell if the board called a timeout or, okay, it was an Alabama timeout. Again, would not be surprised if it buzzed. So what's the play here? Let me mute it because the ref looks like he's about to speak. That possession was not established. Okay, possession was not established was the ruling. 4th and 10, Simpson in shotgun, looks to throw, throws it out, completed to number 1, Horton, who falls down in bounds. So Alabama will probably take its last timeout with a second left to go, or will clock it. Final charge timeout of the first half, Alabama. 6 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Your score, Oklahoma 17, Alabama 14. In all likelihood, Alabama will trot out its field goal unit to attempt a game-tying field goal as the half ends. Alabama doing a lot better job of moving the ball this side of the first half than they had in the first quarter. Here we go. 6 seconds left to go. And as I says, no. Looks like Kalen DeBoer might try to go aggressive here. Instead of trotting out the field goal unit, he's trotting out Ty Simpson. I think he feels like he needs every point he can get, and that's why he's going to go aggressive here. Here he goes, Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, throws it towards the sideline to Bernard, gets about 7 yards on the play, and then runs it out of bounds. 3 seconds left to go in the half. The clock stops because of the play out of bounds. And now DeBoer is trotting out his field goal kicker, Connor Talty. Talty, 11 of 16 in field goals this year. Longest is 46 yards. This one, a 36-yard attempt for Talty. And what just happened? There was a stand-up. Final charge timeout, Oklahoma. So Oklahoma trying to give Alabama something to think about here. Here we are out of that relatively short timeout. Alabama trying back out Talty. Again, this is a 36-yard field goal attempt. With 3 seconds left to go in the first half. Here we go. 36-yard attempt for Talty. Snap. Kicks it. No good. And that is the end of the first half. Talty seems to be angry at his holder for something. But anyway, end of the first half, the score, Oklahoma 17, Alabama 14. Better second quarter for Alabama. But again, Alabama has to find a way to finish drives and stop committing crucial mistakes at crucial points. Surprised they didn't try to get Oklahoma for leaping there. Oh, another crucial mistake. This time it doesn't lead directly to an Oklahoma point, but it does end up costing Alabama a point because on a failed block, Oklahoma's defender leaped over an Alabama lineman and tipped the ball to alter the flight just enough to where Talty missed the field goal. Let's see if this replay shows it. Yeah, you can see his hand and fingers snap back. So technically, that's going to go down as a blocked field goal with another mess up by Alabama, costing Alabama points in the first half. But there we go. At the end of the first half, the score Oklahoma 17, Alabama 14. I'm going to do a quick halftime reaction short that'll be separate from the stream. Hold on 1 second while I set up the camera. Really a tale of two quarters so far in the game between Alabama and Oklahoma. And 17 points scored by Oklahoma, but that is a very deceiving statistic if you actually watch the game. Because if you are just looking at it, then you think Oklahoma's offense is commanding Alabama's defense. But that's actually not the case at all. Because Alabama's defense only allowed one touchdown. But what happened was that Alabama special teams allowed a big punt return from Oklahoma, which set up Oklahoma in the Alabama red zone. Then Alabama threw an interception that was returned by Oklahoma's defense for a touchdown. And then early in the second quarter, Alabama fumbled a punt return that set up Oklahoma at their own 30. And then 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and it's 17, and they scored 17 points. Alabama has to find a way to stop with these mistakes because it's those mistakes that directly led or indirectly led to those 17 points. You take away even one of those mistakes, we have at least a tied ball game, possibly Alabama leading. But Alabama has to find a way to stop with these mistakes. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves in a big heap of trouble in the second half. All right, let me upload that to the channel. Shout out to the 2 people watching this video. All right, so I started the uploading process for the halftime reaction short. So look for it somewhere within the next 10 minutes. Hopefully, it's up before the beginning All right, I apologize for that. Wi-Fi messed up at a wrong time, causing the stream to go down temporarily, but it's back. All right, I'm going to take a halftime break. Be back at the start of the second half. All right, I'm back. I apologize for that. The stream went down due to bad internet in the area, but it looks like it connected at least for now. Internet is going kind of in and out right now. So if you see random points where it just interrupts, it's because the internet went down at the wrong time. And again, more suspicious links popped in while I was away for the halftime break. So again, as my pinned comment says, do not click any link that you see promising you can watch the game for free, because it's scamming you out of money. Meanwhile, here, 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. Mateer hands it off to number 5. Gets a first down before he's swallowed up by a group of Alabama defenders. 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. Second down, handoff, gets about a gain of 4 on the play. Second and 2 for Oklahoma. Hopefully that's done, at least for now, with suspicious bots appearing in the chat. Here we go. 2nd and 2 for Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Mateer takes a snap, looking to throw. Now he runs it. Flag on the play. Holding against the Sooners, back them up 10 yards. Second and 13 for the Sooners. Brings them back behind Alabama territory. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap. Fakes a handoff. Now looks to throw. Throws it behind the line, and the receiver is swallowed up for a loss of 1 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 14 for Oklahoma. Once again, Alabama's defense continuing to make stands. Question is, can Alabama's team as a whole quit making crucial mistakes at crucial points that lead directly or indirectly to Oklahoma points? Third and 13 from the Oklahoma 45-yard line. No, the 43-yard line, excuse me. Mateer in shotgun. Gets it to receiver number 5 on the play. First down, Oklahoma. Alabama looked like they had Mateer swallowed up in the backfield, but then unleashes it to number 5. Gets the first down. Brings up 1st and 10. Oklahoma going to hurry up. Loses the football. But the ruling Oklahoma recovered it. Brings up 2nd and 11 for Oklahoma. Pardon that truck. That sounds like a motorcycle for some reason. Here we go. 2nd and 13 officially. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap. Looking around for someone to throw to. First sack of the game for Alabama. Brings up 3rd and about 14 for Oklahoma. Third down. Officially ruled 3rd and 15 for Oklahoma. Alabama trying to get the crowd back involved in the game. Here we go. Mateer in shotgun, throws it out, completes it to about the 35-yard line, but needed a lot more for the first down. Brings up 4th, and I want to say about 8 for the Sooners, and they're going to trot out their kicker. Tate Sandell, 6 of 6 from beyond 50 for the season. This kick officially a 52-yard attempt. Snap. Kick is good. With 10:38 left to go in the third quarter to score Oklahoma 20, Alabama 14. Still a one-score game at this point, though. And that is going to bring us to the first commercial break of the second half. Pretty good defensive stand for Alabama, but again, crucial mistakes leading directly to points. Still waiting to come back from the commercial break after the successful Oklahoma field goal. If you're just joining, the score is Oklahoma 20, Alabama 14. Here we go back from commercial break. 10:38 left to go in the third quarter to score Oklahoma 20, Alabama 14. Oklahoma set to kick off to Alabama. Kickoff is in the air. Goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Alabama will have it 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Alabama offense really started to get it together in the second quarter. We'll see if they can continue that offensive momentum here in the second half. Here we go, 1st and 10. Simpson 22 of 31, passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap. Throws it out to Bernard, but it comes off of his hands. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Ball just slightly out of reach of Bernard. Otherwise, it probably would have been about a 20-yard gain on the play. But anyway, 2nd and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Simpson takes a snap, hands it to Hill. Hill has some running room, gets the first down and some. One of the largest runs I've seen from Alabama all season, brings it to the Oklahoma 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for Alabama. Where was runs like that all season for Alabama? Like, Hill had some really big holes to run through, and he just exploited it. Biggest run easily of the game for Alabama. Might even be the biggest run of the season for Alabama. 28-yard rush officially for Alabama by Hill. Here we go. 1st and 10. Simpson under center. Hands it off to Hill again, but this time he maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Second and 10 for Alabama. They say all it takes is that one big play to completely change the momentum of a drive or even the game. Maybe that big run by Hill turns the game on its head. Here we go. From the Oklahoma 47-yard line, Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, throws it out to Cuevas. Cuevas hurdles a guy. Now he gets the first down and some. Knocked out of bounds right around the 27-yard line of Oklahoma. Brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. And like, he just hurdled. I want to watch that replay. 13 of the defense looked to try and knock him down, but he hurdled him instead. Until finally number 3, after a 15-yard gain by Cuevas, just knocks Cuevas out. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the Oklahoma 27-yard line. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw, throws it deep. Caught by Horton. Right around the 2-yard line, brings up 1st and goal for Alabama. If Alabama scores, they get the lead. They might get the lead. Alabama already well exceeding their score from last year. Here we go. Simpson hands it off to Hill. Hill might have crossed the plane. Touchdown, Alabama. No, wait. What happened? You had one official signaled a touchdown. Correction, that was actually Miller on the run. I thought he crossed the plane. And one official even ruled it touchdown, but then another official somehow overrules him. I don't know. 2nd and goal for Alabama. Hill in the Wildcat. Takes a snap. Touchdown, Alabama, this time definitively. One-yard rush by Daniel Hill. 2nd touchdown of the game for Hill. 7-play, 75-yard drive results in a touchdown. And pending the extra point, Alabama will go up by 1. Extra point is good. 7:27 left to go in the 3rd quarter to score. Alabama 21, Oklahoma 20. For the first time all game, Alabama is in the lead. thanks mostly to a 28-yard run by Hill and then a throw and catch by Simpson to set up Alabama with 2 yards in the goal situation. Capped off by the 1-yard touchdown by Daniel Hill. Network timeout. I'm going to go ahead and get a refill on my beverage. Be right back. Also, yes, I did turn on a light in the room. Right now, where I am at, it is 4:54 p.m. and the date, as we all know, daylight saving time is over, so it's starting to get a little bit dark. So I did. So if you notice that the lighting in the room changed, it's because I turned on a light when I didn't have a light on. Game still at a commercial break. Alabama now with a 1-point lead after having trailed the entire game, having been down 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, and at one point trailing 17-7. Alabama since that point. Alabama, ever since the end of the first quarter, has outscored Oklahoma 21-10. After a shaky first start, and really and truly, you can only 3 of the points that Oklahoma has so far in this game cannot be tied to crucial mistakes. That one being the most recent field goal, because the first field goal came after Oklahoma started the drive at the Alabama 29-yard line after a bad punt return. Then you had Alabama throw an interception that resulted in a pick six. And then you had Alabama force Oklahoma to punt, but then fumbled the punt return, which then 2 plays later, Oklahoma's in the end zone. Really, only 3 points have not come due to a crucial mistake at a crucial point by Alabama. Here we go. Kickoff is in the air. Fair caught at around the Oklahoma 4-yard line. 1st and 10, Oklahoma. See how the Alabama defense does against an Oklahoma offense now that Oklahoma is trailing for the first time this game. Darkness starting to take over at Alabama's field. And you know, when the lights go out and turn on in Bryant-Denny Stadium, the crowd hits another level. Mateer tried to throw, but it's batted about a second after he gets it out of his hands by number 96. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma. It's Keenan the third, number 96, swatted the ball right out of the air before it had a chance to go anywhere. 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma, right around their own 25-yard line. Mateer in shotgun. Looking to throw. Had a little bit of time. Now he completes it out to number 84 for about a 21-yard gain on the play. Brings up 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. Mateer takes the snap out of the shotgun, throws it to the same receiver. This time he ends up getting about a 7-yard gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 3 for Oklahoma. That was number 84, the past 2 receptions, Carter for Oklahoma. Brings up 2nd and 3. Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off. Gets swallowed up after a 1-yard gain. Brings up 3rd and 2 for Oklahoma. Third and 2. Sorry, there was kids screaming in the background outside. Why am I getting so many delayed notifications from ESPN? Here we go. Mateer. Flag on the play. Might have been an illegal shift on one of the 2 teams. It looks like so far it's a loss of 2 on the play, but that depends on the flag. Illegal shift against Oklahoma. Penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd and 4. Brings up 4th and 4. I'm sorry, for Oklahoma. Correction, 4th and 6, and Oklahoma's going to be forced to punt. A Alabama crowd really starting to kick in, as it looked like they really started to shatter the confidence of the Oklahoma offense at the end of that drive here. Punt is going to in the air. Please nobody fumble this one. And thank goodness it just goes into the end zone this time for a touchback. Brings up Alabama to the 25-yard line, which is going to be where they start their next drive when the game comes back from commercial. Alabama defense and offense so far stepping up to the plate here in the second half, having outscored Oklahoma 21-10 since the first quarter. Two people currently in the chat, or I should say watching the stream. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And hit that notification bell. That way you can be notified not just of the live streams, but also if I upload videos. Speaking of videos, let me check on the progress of something real quick. It's still not fully uploaded yet, the halftime short. Still waiting on the game to come back from commercial. I am going to go ahead and float around an idea that I do have for somewhere around the January area, which is when the NFL playoffs start. As you know, I do have a second channel, Go Pats 99. However, I don't stream on that channel. First off, I don't have the time to do so during the NFL regular season because it coincides with the college football regular season. However, I also do not have enough subscribers on that channel to go live. You need at least 50 to live stream, and that one only has 25. So I'm floating around this idea. Of course, that depends on what happens between that time period. But as of right now, the Patriots are poised to get a spot in the NFL playoffs. And most of you know that the Patriots are my favorite NFL team. If the Patriots would make the playoffs, would y'all like to see me stream Patriots football here on Roll Tide 99? Just an idea for y'all to ponder. Because if I get enough response, then I'm looking into possibly streaming on this channel Patriots games for the NFL playoffs. Feed finally comes back from ABC. Cameron was at the Taco Bell Live My Student section. Here we are. 1st and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Looking to throws it out to Hill. Would have had a first down, but he tripped when he caught the ball, but still ends up being a 6-yard gain for Alabama. Brings up 2nd and 4. Tried to get Oklahoma to jump, but they didn't fall for it. Or at least didn't fall for it enough. Simpson in shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Hill. Gain of about 4 on the play. 3rd and 2 for Alabama. Officially ruled 3rd and 3. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap. Throws it. Intended for Bernard. Incomplete. Brings up 4th and 3 in a punting situation, most likely, for Alabama. The first time since the second quarter that Alabama has been forced to punt. Good throw. Bernard just couldn't haul it in. Here we go with the punt, although wouldn't be surprised there's some sort of a hard count going on here on the punt. Punt is in the air. Fair caught by Oklahoma at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Oklahoma. First and 10 for Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off, but only gets about a 1-yard gain by number 24 of Oklahoma. Robinson on the carry only gets about a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 for Oklahoma. Second and 9. Mateer in shotgun. Looks around for a receiver. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 9. I'm sorry, 3rd and 9 for Oklahoma. Third and 9. Mateer in shotgun. Now a stoppage in play. Timeout, Alabama. with a minute 30, with 3 minutes 19 left to go in the third quarter to score Alabama 21, Oklahoma 20. Here we go. Out of the timeout. Here we go. Oklahoma with 3rd and 9. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap and looks to throw. All kinds of time to throw. Incomplete, but a flag flew. Wouldn't be surprised if they called Alabama for pass interference. Chop block against Oklahoma. Penalty looks like it's declined. So what I thought was a pass interference was actually a chop block by Oklahoma. I'm guessing they're ruling that the contact between the Alabama defender and the Oklahoma receiver was incidental. That forces a 4th and 9 without Oklahoma being forced to punt. Grayson Miller, the punter. Ryan Williams, the returner. Williams receives the punt. Tries to get free. Makes a couple of men miss. Taken down at the Alabama 17-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. As things currently stand with the playoff rankings, if the playoffs would start today, Alabama would have a first-round bye as the 4th seed and then play the winner of Oregon versus Georgia. A lot could happen between then, though. Here he goes. Simpson, 1st and 10. Simpson under center. Hands it off to Miller. Miller lowers his head for about a 4-yard gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and about 6 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun, takes a snap, fakes it to Miller, then keeps it himself, gets the first down and some. Takes it to about the Alabama 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Correction, got it to the Alabama 30-yard line. First and 10, Simpson in shotgun. Simpson takes a snap, hands it off to Miller. Miller trying to get around the outside. Good for only about a gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Officially ruled 2nd and 9 for Alabama. Second and 9, Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, throws it. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 9 for Alabama. Simpson in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Ball came loose. Recovered by Oklahoma. So it looked like momentum for Alabama turns out to be dead as Alabama fumbles. Simpson was trying to throw it, but it got knocked away out of the hands of Simpson. Simpson probably should have just ate the sack right there. Here we go. Mateer in shotgun. Takes it himself. Gets about a 4 or 3 yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 7 for Oklahoma. Alabama still clinging to a 1-point game, but the momentum of the game just got turned on its head. Here we go. Mateer in shotgun. Incomplete. Flag flew, but it looked like it was mutual shoving there because the Oklahoma player made first contact. Pass interference against Alabama. Again, though, Oklahoma's player was shoving Alabama's player before. So how is that not mutual shoving on the play? Brings up 1st and 10. No, actually 1st and goal for Oklahoma. Here we go. Mateer in shotgun. Hands it off to Robinson. Gets maybe a yard on the play. Correction, that is actually not Robinson. Try to get a view of his last name, but it wasn't Robinson. That was number 6 on the play for Oklahoma. Got the 1-yard gain. End of the 3rd quarter, the score Alabama 21, Oklahoma 20. Still waiting for the game to come back from the quarter break. ABC back from commercial break for the game. Start of the fourth quarter. Oklahoma has it second and goal. Alabama up 21-20. Here we go. First play of the fourth quarter. Mateer in shotgun hands it off to number 6. It's about a 5-yard gain on the play. Brings up third and goal from the 6-yard line. I have to wonder if Oklahoma's going to go aggressive if they get stopped on third and goal here. Or possibly if they go aggressive here. Mateer in shotgun. Looking to throw. Now he looks to run. Had about a yard, but then the hole closed out quickly. Brings up fourth and goal for Oklahoma. Now, if you're Oklahoma, what do you do here? Do you take the guaranteed 3 points, which it looks like they're going to do? I was going to say, do you take the guaranteed 3 points or do you go aggressive? Tate Sandell on to kick the field goal for Oklahoma. Kick is good. With 13:41 left to go in the fourth quarter to score Oklahoma 23, Alabama 21. This is crunch time for Alabama. We've seen Alabama have a lot of successful moments in the fourth quarter. We've seen their defense step up against teams like Georgia and Missouri. We've seen their offense step up in crunch time in the fourth quarter late against South Carolina. This is another circumstance where Alabama's offense has to come through in the fourth quarter, while also their defense needing to do their job. Can Alabama muster up another touchdown? Or even a field goal, because a field goal would put Alabama up by 1. Somebody's playing loud music outside in the other yard, so I apologize if you're hearing it on the stream. Kickoff is in the air. Goes out the back of the end zone, touchback. Alabama will have it at their own 25-yard line. So here we go. Can Alabama's clutch offense at some point in this fourth quarter either find the end zone or kick a field goal? A lot of that question will be answered on this drive. Here we go. First and 10, Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, hands it off to Hill. Hill goes forward for about a 6-yard gain on the play. Brings up second and 4 for Alabama. Officially ruled second and 5 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Simpson hands it off to Hill. Hill gets back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Brings up third and 5 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Going to be sacked for about a loss of 10 on the play. Means Alabama's going to have to punt it. So Alabama defense going to have to find a way to get the ball back for their offense. Alabama in serious jeopardy of taking their first home loss in the SEC since 2015. Punt is in the air. Covered by Oklahoma. Fair caught at their own 29-yard line. And again, mistakes by Alabama at crucial points are what put Alabama in this spot that they are in. Only 3 points cannot be directly or indirectly attributed to an Alabama mistake, and that was the 3 points Oklahoma got at the beginning of the second half. Because the field goal they got towards the beginning of the first half was set up by the fact that Alabama allowed them a big punt return to the Alabama 29-yard line. Then, late in the first quarter, you had Ty Simpson throw an interception that was returned for a touchdown. Then you had Oklahoma score a touchdown midway through the second quarter after Ryan Williams fumbled a punt return at the Alabama 30-yard line. And then just now we saw the Oklahoma field goal that happened mostly because Ty Simpson fumbled in Alabama territory. It has been those miscues at crucial points that have directly led to Alabama being in the situation where they are, down 2 in the fourth quarter. Now, granted, there's a lot of time left to go in the fourth quarter, but Alabama needs to stop here or at least hold Oklahoma to a field goal to where a touchdown would put them back up by a point. Excuse me. Still waiting for the game to come back for commercial break. Here we are back for commercial break. Oklahoma has it at their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Mateer in shotgun. Takes it himself. Swaddled up for a loss of about 1 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 11 for Oklahoma. Second and 10. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap. Throws it. Completes it to number 11. Gets a first down. brings up 1st and 10, Oklahoma. First and 10, Mateer in shotgun, hands it off to Robinson. Pushes forward for about a gain of 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6 for Oklahoma. Alabama defense needing to come up with a stop here to get the ball back to their offense, down by 2. Mateer in shotgun, takes a snap. Plenty of time to throw. Throws it out. Incomplete. Looked for a second like it was going to be intercepted, but it was dropped. Brings up 3rd and 6 for Oklahoma. Third and 6, Oklahoma. Oklahoma just 2 of 10 on 3rd downs. Alabama needing to force them off of the field here. Here we go. 3rd and 6, Mateer in shotgun. Completes it, gets the 1st down and some to number 11. 1st and 10, Oklahoma to the Alabama 40-yard line. Alabama defense can ill afford to allow Oklahoma to score a touchdown. Touchdown makes it to a 2-possession game. Here we go, 1st and 10. Mateer in shotgun. Takes a snap. Hands it to Robinson. Gets about a 2-yard gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Oklahoma. Second and 7 officially ruled. Here we go. Mateer in shotgun. Looks to run it himself. Gains about 3 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4 for Oklahoma. Officially ruled 3rd and 3 for Oklahoma. Here we go. Clock ticks to below 8 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Mateer in shotgun. Flags flying everywhere on the play. False start against Oklahoma. Backs up Oklahoma 5 yards, brings up 3rd and 8 for Oklahoma. Fourth penalty of the game for Oklahoma. 3rd and 8 for Oklahoma. Mateer in shotgun. Incomplete after a very confusing series of events. That might force an intentional grounding flag. Intentional grounding against Mateer. Loss of 10 and a loss of down brings up 4th and 18 for Oklahoma. That is exactly what Oklahoma did not want to do. He just basically spiked it into the ground at his own lineman in a desperate attempt to escape an Alabama sack. Officially brings up 4th and 20 for Oklahoma. And what looked like it was going to be a game sealer drive for Oklahoma turns into them being backed up 18 yards in 2 plays. Punt is in the air. Going to be downed at the Alabama 6-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama, when the game resumes. With approximately 7:14 left to go in the 4th quarter to score Oklahoma 23, Alabama 21. I'm going to take a break with the network to go get another drink. Be right back. While we're waiting for the game to come back from action, here's what I'll probably do next week. Because next week, Alabama plays Western Illinois. That's an FCS school. So not really a lot of fanfare in that one. What I may do, depending on what I have going on that day, is that I may go ahead and stream only the first half, or stream the first half, see what's going on in the first half, and depending on what's going on in the first half, stop at the end of the first half. Again, I'm not making anything for sure. Next week's really the expendable game because of the fact that it's Alabama taking on an FCS opponent. So what I may do for that game is only stream the first half, unless something unforeseen happens and the game is somehow much closer than we expected at the end of the first half. I'll let y'all know probably Friday afternoon in a community post what I'm going to go ahead and do next week for Alabama versus Western Illinois. Here we come back for commercial break. The Red Crimson Lights are filling up Bryant-Denny Stadium, and this is where the crowd starts to really unleash its hell. Alabama down 2, but just got a big crucial defensive stop, aided by a couple of mistakes by Oklahoma late in the drive. Now here Alabama has the ball at their own 6-yard line, needing a score of some form or fashion to take the lead. 1st and 10. Simpson and shotgun. Hands it off to Hill. Hill tries to get around the outside. Stop for a gain about 3 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 7 for Alabama. And not a good sign for Alabama, as Hill needed to be helped up by one of his linemen. Now he sends in Miller. Officially ruled 2nd and 7 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Simpson looked like he was changing the play there. Has to snap it. Takes the snap. Looking for somebody to throw the ball to. Finally just decides to take the L and run it himself for about a 2-yard gain. Brings up 3rd and 5 for Alabama. If you're Alabama, you do not want to give Oklahoma back the ball, given how they've been just chewing clock off. You really here on this play need to get a first down. You have 5 yards to get the first down. Here he goes. Simpson in shotgun. Takes the snap. Throws it. Completes it to Bernard. First down and some around the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Alabama. Drive staying alive for the time being. Clock ticks to below 5.5 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. Miller gets free around the outside. Gain of about 9 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 1 for Alabama. If you're Alabama, you want to give Oklahoma the ball back with as little time left as possible after scoring. Preferably, you want to score a touchdown and force Oklahoma to drive the length of field. Oh, time not really an issue as of right now. Alabama has 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Meanwhile, hands it off to Miller. Gets the first down and some after a gain of about 5 on the play. 1st and 10, Alabama. First and 10. Simpson in the shotgun. Miller still in the game at running back. Wonder if Hill got injured. Simpson hands it off to Miller. Miller, gain of about 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Second and 8. Simpson in shotgun. Takes the snap, throws it, completes it to Brooks. Gains about 7 on the play, brings up 3rd and 1 for Alabama. Brooks slow to get up. And that's going to force an injury timeout. Alabama screaming for an unnecessary roughness on the play, but it looks like they're not going to get it. But okay, they helped up Brooks. Camera was about to cut to commercial, but they picked up Brooks. But they still go to commercial anyway. Still waiting for the game to come back for commercial after the injury timeout. Here we go. Finally back from commercial break after the injury timeout. 3 minutes left to go in the game. Simpson hands it off to Hill, who's back in the game for the first time, but is stuffed. Here we go. Crucial point in the game for Alabama. 4th and 1. What do? You do still have 2 timeouts. Do you run it up the middle with either Simpson, Miller, or Hill? Or do you try something that you haven't tried yet? Here we go. 4th and 1. Simpson and shotgun. Takes a snap. Runs a trickery to Brooks. Brooks gets the first down and some. Gain of about 2, but that's still enough for the first down for Brooks on the trickery. 1st and 10, Alabama. That's going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout of the second half. 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter to score. Oklahoma 23, Alabama 21. I'm going to take a quick timeout and then I'm going to come back. All right, I'm back. Here's the situation. 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Alabama has the ball, down by 2. A field goal or a touchdown will take the lead for Alabama. If you're Alabama, you obviously would prefer getting a touchdown with as little time as possible, preferably less than 30 seconds, for Oklahoma to drive the length of the field. However, you will take whatever points you can get. If Alabama does control the clock the right way, they could end up not giving the ball back to Oklahoma. But it all depends heavily on if Alabama can control the clock the right way. Obviously, for Alabama, you cannot commit any turnovers. A turnover basically ends any shot Alabama has of winning the game. You have to score on this drive if you're Alabama. So the question is, does the Alabama offense, who's been inconsistent in moving the ball all day, can they find a way to get Alabama the win here? Here we go. Ball at the Alabama 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Simpson in shotgun. Takes the snap. All kinds of pressure. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10, Alabama. Oh, wait, he was down. So it's actually a loss of about 8 on the play. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it deep. Complete. No. Was trying to get it to Horton. But it was a little bit too low there. 3rd and 21 for Alabama. Crunch time here. What can Alabama do here? Alabama has to get a first down either here or on the next play to have any shot of winning the game. Here we go. 3rd and 21. Here we go. Simpson in the shotgun. Timeout, Alabama. Can Alabama find a way here? 3rd and 21, down by 2. Minute 36 left to go in the fourth quarter. Alabama needing something big either on this play or the next play to even have a shot at still winning the game. Here we go. 3rd and 21 for Alabama. Does Alabama have something special cooked up here? You have to assume they're going to take deep shots here. Here we go. Simpson in shotgun. Takes the snap. Throws it. Completes it. Gain of about 15 on the play to Horton. Brings up 4th down. The biggest 4th down so far of the season for Alabama. 4th and 6 officially ruled. Here we go. Simpson all by himself in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw it. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. And that'll be all she wrote. Alabama going to take a loss at home to Oklahoma. That'll be all she wrote. All right. Thank you for tuning in. An 8-game win streak comes to an end for Alabama at home against Oklahoma. And now Alabama is in 2 must-win games for the remainder of the season to have a shot at the playoffs. Thank you very much for tuning in. I may or may not see you for the first half of the Western Illinois game. See y'all guys later. What a disappointing way to end the game.